Hey guys, welcome to Armoured Viper's Pit, first podcast. So, a little bit about myself. Veteran from Royal Australian Air Force, spent 4.5 years in uniform, 2005, 2009. So, got a wealth of knowledge on a few different topics that I'd like to cover today. And like to introduce you guys to a very good friend of mine, known him for a part of a decade, and he's also my web designer, Hamish. How you doing, mate?
Hey, good, Viper. How are you?
Oh, yeah, getting there. You know, how it can be on a good freezing Friday afternoon in Townsville.
You think it's freezing?
Yeah, it is freezing.
Yeah,
I thought this global warming thing, we were meant to get warmer, not get Arctic blasts down to, 10 degrees halfway to the equator. But anyway, what would we know? We only just live here, right?
That's true, yeah. I mean, I just got here 4 days ago.
4 days ago from Auckland, and it's the same goddamn temperature.
Well, no, I mean, yes and no. I'm almost starting to sweat now because I'm putting a jumper on this, brick house. But,
I mean, we got the fans off, but still.
The fans are off, yes, that's right.
And lights, camera, action.
There's a lot of lights in this room, yes. But I have to say, man, the studio is looking fantastic.
Thank you. Wouldn't be able to do it without your help, mate.
Yeah, mate, we're just 5%. No, 95% is you. So that's no worries at all. No worries at all. Where are we exactly, Viper?
We are in Townsville, Australia's largest garrison city. Hear that, guys? Largest. So there is more soldiers and more veterans that live in this city.
Yeah.
Per capita compared to every other city in the country.
Wow.
So it's a pretty big deal to have veterans up here because we are the tip of the spear up here, guys. We got one RAR, we got two RAR. RARs are our Royal Australian regiments.
Yep.
They're our foot soldiers. They are our bread and butter. They're our infantry. Yep. We also have commando regiments here, which are Green Berets for anyone that's that way inclined.
Yes.
They're special forces. They do breach and entries, room clearances, hostage extractions, all that sort of thing.
Wow.
And that's basically the step below of Australia's real tip of the spear, the SASR.
Yes, right.
Commandos, they're pretty much on par. So we got all those units up here. Plus, we also have 3rd Brigade Armoured Regiment.
Okay.
Funnily enough, Armoured Regiment. How funny is that? 3rd Brigade actually were the most valuable unit in the Korean War.
Wow.
So they're pretty special unit for Australia's army, and without them, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of what we can do.
Right.
So I'm pretty open and honest sort of bloke. If you guys have got questions that you want to know about any of this stuff, comment and link down below, and we'll see if we can accommodate you. But
absolutely. So you would say we're quite a sacred place right now. It's like hallowed ground, this place.
Yeah, well, if you go for a walk around Townsville, there's actually a couple of little concrete bunkers and all that are still left over from World War II up and on the peninsulas and all that. So
wow, that's amazing.
They were the lookouts for Japanese ships if they were coming down through the Magnetic Island Strait. Because let's face it, Darwin got bombed by the Japanese in World War II. I think 1943.
Yeah,
I think it might have been. Don't quote me on that. I'll do some research. And also we had midget Japanese subs found in Sydney Harbour.
Wow.
Actually on duty at the time in World War II. So they were spying actively around the Australian coastline to see what we were doing.
Specifically Townsville.
Specifically Townsville, Brisbane, Sydney, Darwin. The major cities. Yeah.
Major cities, yeah.
Yep. Because that's where all of our troops were getting stationed. We actually had stations of detachments of air wings of the US Air Force here as well at the time. So it wasn't just us. We were also the stopping point for the Pacific campaign for US Marines and US Navy. Used to dock here quite a lot as well.
See.
So Townsville's actually got quite a rich history for the defense of the country, and without them, we wouldn't be here.
Of course, man. Of course.
None of us.
See, this is why I wanted to come onto this podcast, man, because I don't know much about this industry. Of course it's an industry, yeah, but it's a livelihood for a lot of people. Yep. I don't know much about this world.
Yep.
I'm more into tech, as you guys as you were aware.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aware. So for me, this is completely new, and like just hearing these stories, I definitely knew I would learn a lot of things today. So thank you very much for inviting me onto this podcast.
Oh, that's all good, man.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't be able to do any of this without the sponsorship and help from you guys, be able to get all this up and running. You know, I've got the gaming side. Now we're going into podcasting. I love having this platform. I love the freedom of it. I love being able to speak open and frank.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't sugarcoat anything, guys. You will not get a silver-spooned, left-wing, latte-sipping idiot from this side of the mic, ever. All right? I've actually got a brain. I'm not a sheep. I can form my own opinions. I can take everything that's in the news, every source, whether it be left-wing or right-wing or centrist, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just interested in the facts. If all the facts align, well, then it's pretty easy to tell what the story is.
Indeed.
You know?
It is, yeah.
It's called critical thinking. You don't need to be told what to think. There are many different media sources out there now. You don't even have... You walk into my home, you will not see a free-to-air TV aerial cable in this home. I don't believe in it. I believe in facts, not opinions. And that's all the news has become now, is just opinion pieces.
I agree.
They're not there to help anyone. They're just there to form an agenda and force it down your throat.
Exactly, bro. And you know the other thing?
Yep.
If something's free in life, then that means you're the product.
Exactly. Exactly. It means that they're using you.
They're tracking how you're using the product.
Yep.
To make it better and better.
The YouTube gods and the Facebook gods out there, the Zuckerbergs of the world, they've got all these algorithms geared to suit their own agenda, not your agenda. You're there to help them. They're not there to help you. Not at all.
Pretty much. This is kind of facts, but, you know.
Well, that's right up your warehouse with this AI. I was actually thinking along the lines of, we're all gamers here. We've all played games once upon a time.
Of course.
You know, once upon a time, there was a game out there called Deus Ex Machina.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone can remember that.
Yeah. Where
a guy got all the cybernetic stuff put onto him.
Yeah. That was the first one, right?
Literally became a walking weapon, right?
Yeah.
His arms and his legs and his eyes and all that were all amputated.
Mm.
And he was given bionic enhancements. Now, my idea with artificial technology, don't quote me on this.
Sure.
My idea is they're getting prosthetic limbs and stuff now, right? So that people can have somewhat of a usual way of life.
Yes.
Is there some way that we can use this artificial technology that's coming out now to be able to attach to nerve fibers in your muscles in the severed limb so that they'd actually have functionality of their hand or their leg ever again?
You mean exactly the way that they would have remembered it?
Yeah.
So, like, for example, if someone had both their legs blown off.
Yep.
But they could do a backflip before.
Yep.
That, like, when they had legs.
Yep.
And they get prosthetic limbs that already knows how to do a backflip type thing.
No, more like being able to make a prosthetic that's bionically enhanced to be able to attach to your nerve fibers so that if you were able to do something before, like, say, walk, and you've just lost your leg from the knee down, to be able to get a prosthetic that will actually attach and move like you've actually got toes and an ankle and muscles still.
There's already prosthetics that do that, though. Huh?
No, not to that degree.
Not to that degree, right? Okay. I guess, I don't know if artificial intelligence is the answer there, because right now what AI is, right, it does office-related tasks, right? It could write you a poem, it could write you a joke, it could build you a website, man. It could write you a sales letter, you know, do like the mundane tasks, right?
Yep.
But to do something as complex as this would require, I think, many, many more years of training before you can actually make that a thing.
Okay.
Realistically speaking, there's not enough data on it, I would say. From my experience, I could be completely wrong because I'm not part of the medical world either. So I'm just saying from my experience.
I've been seeing some bionic engineers that are actually double amputees and stuff, being able to design their own things on YouTube. And the advancement in the field is absolutely blown my mind. It's so interesting to me that But a young girl, like she's in this bionic transitioning phase over there at the moment. She's one of the trials for it.
Yes.
She lost one of her arms from the elbow down.
Yeah.
But she's now got this prosthetic that she can put onto her arm, and she can think to move her fingers, and it will move them. She can think, grab that cup, and it will actually grab the cup and hold it with liquid into.
And that's happening through the senses.
That's happening through her own mind. Yeah. She's thinking like it's still her arm, and it's responding accordingly. And that is absolutely blowing my mind that we've got that tech now.
Yeah. So that's more of the robotics industry, really. That's happening because of that technology. I don't know exactly the specifics of it, how it actually works, but yeah, what you're mainly more talking about now is more geared towards robotics for sure. Yeah.
Geared towards bringing people back to a functional way of life, and not feeling as though that they've got a deficit.
Yes.
I think that the ability of being able to do that far outweighs anything that they should be going down.
Yes.
Because the amount of victims that are out there from landmine attacks, double amputees from car crashes, people that are born without the limbs to begin with, you know, to give them a functional way of life, to make them feel as though they actually use something, it would drag them out of depression, and it would solve so many different other medical related problems for them.
I agree.
In my opinion, that's what they should be putting their direction down, instead of, you know, having a cackling hyena such as Kamala Harris being in charge of artificial intelligence, when that woman, let's face it, has got absolutely no intelligence whatsoever.
Yeah.
She says we need to go through a passage of time, and as we go through this passage, it takes time to go through a passage of time. That's not a sentence, girl. Oh, this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to have an opinion according to the left. You guys have your opinions. I have mine. Come at me. Don't care.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the AI, I think that's got nothing to do, like the robotic stuff. Like, I don't really know much information about it, so we'll just move on to another topic, perhaps. Let's talk about how we can raise awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I myself, I've gone and personally given evidence to the Royal Commission here in Australia.
Sure.
Because there is a Royal Commission going on. If you guys don't know, a Royal Commission is basically the highest investigated bureau in the land.
Right.
Okay. So there's a Royal Commission going on into defence and veteran suicides. Now, the veteran suicide rate in Australia is over 3.8 times the national average.
Wow.
Okay. So
that's
the national average, I think, is something like 6% or something or other.
Yeah.
And then you've got the veterans that are literally suffering. Look, I myself, I was discharged in 2009, okay?
Right.
I've gone through several years of pain and suffering and lots of surgeries later. It took the Department of Veterans Affairs 13 years to play catch up with my claims, so that now that I'm able to be able to do all this stuff.
That's nearly a decade and a half, man.
13 years. I'm only 37 years of age, guys. Okay? That is 1/3 of my natural existence. I've been fighting my own government for my own acknowledgements, for my own injuries. For many years, they were saying, there's nothing wrong with you. The pain's all in your head.
Wow.
They were trying to write it off as a mental disorder. I'm sorry, when you go to reach out for a can of Coke and you hear your shoulder go crack, it's not exactly all in your head when someone looks at you and goes, oh, wow, dude, what was that sound? And they see tears rolling down your cheek because you're clutching your shoulder. You know, it's not all in your head as what DVA would lead you to believe. If you go and see a sponsored DVA surgeon, they will literally say, all in your head. I know this. I've gone and seen a DVA surgeon, and they've said as such. Go and get a second opinion, guys. Please. Get a second opinion. Go and pay for your own opinion. Because These doctors are literally getting kickbacks from the Department of Veterans Affairs to not allow claims to go through. Now, let's think about that. They're getting government incentive to say that it's all in your head.
Wow. That must be the easiest patient ever for the doctor then.
So they get to see you, get paid for the appointment, so nothing all in your head. Government doesn't have to pay out on it. And everyone's happy, but you're not. And everyone saves money.
That's literally what it's for, isn't it?
That's literally what it's all about, right? The Department of Veterans Affairs gets allocated a certain amount of money every year in the budget. Okay?
Mm.
In the federal budget.
Right.
If they don't reach that threshold in their monetary allocation, they get to keep it at the end of the financial year. You're hearing me right.
What?
They get to keep it as a department.
They don't make the threshold.
Right? So they get given, say, something like 20 billion.
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 Okay.
All right, let's use 20 billion as an example.
I could do a lot with 20 billion, yeah.
If they don't spend that 20 billion on all their soldiers, medical costs and all that at the end of the year, at the end of the financial year, they get to put that money aside. That's theirs.
Okay.
And the directors of the Department of Veterans Affairs get themselves a nice little Christmas bonus.
So it's
saving money.
So it's an index fund, basically, is what it is.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
But at the taxpayer's expense.
Absolutely.
And no one knows about this.
No. And they're legally able to do it.
Wow.
They are legally able to do that.
That's nuts.
Now, if they save 10 million, right, out of that $20 billion, if they save $10 million, they divvy that 10 million at the end of the financial year up against their directors.
Only the directors.
Little known fact, Liz Cosson, the former DVA secretary, was the highest paid public servant in this country.
Okay.
Because she was putting away nice little Christmas bonuses every financial year by stopping veterans by getting their payouts. Hear that, Liz? I'm putting you on the spot. If what I'm talking about is untrue, please, by all means, you are more than welcome to sit in the hot seat and call me out. Because I do have the evidence through my advocate to be able to point this out. So if you think that I'm lying, you have an open invitation. Please, come to Townsville. Sit in the chair and prove me wrong. I would absolutely love that. Because I know myself, I've still got current claims going through the Department of Veterans Affairs right now. And you guys can't read English, even if it was tattooed backwards on your forehead, to read it in the bloody mirror when you get up in the morning. You're pathetic. That is the long and short of it. It is not fair on the veterans. A lot of the times veterans are being told exactly that. It is all in your head.
Which is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous statement to make.
Yeah.
Anything. But anything. Mental health is a huge thing right now. Of course, especially after COVID, people are starting to realize how bad mental health is. But just take a step back 10, 15 years ago, right? When you got suddenly struck, right? Something happened to you, right? You had to go through all that suffering, pain, all that. Was that not mental health problems back then?
Yeah, it was. But now they've got a blanket coverage for all mental health coverage in Australia for veterans. So they will pay for your mental health. If you have a problem, please reach out, guys. Please go and see help. For the longest time, I thought I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem. The whole world had a problem around me. It still does, to a degree.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? You always think, oh, no, it's not me. It can never be me. But it actually could be.
I had to reach out. I had to get help myself. We know of a couple of instances here in Townsville lately.
Such as?
Unfortunate as it was, a couple of veterans had mental breaks and they ended up losing their own lives, courtesy of their own hands One of them actually got shot by the police. So it's unfortunate, but they were a public hazard. They were taking shots at other people that were driving past in the car, and they had a mental break. It's simple as that. To get through liability at Department of Veterans Affairs now, for them to turn around and say, "Oh, I am so sorry about this. We accept liability for your problem." They will literally take 250 plus days just to say that. Then to get through permanent impairment, it's another year. What are you meant to do? Sit on New Start for $400 a fortnight until then? How the hell can that get you by? It doesn't. That doesn't even pay your rent, guys. And they're expecting people to live on that?
That's still less than the pension, though, isn't it?
That's New Start. They expect veterans to be on New Start until their liability goes through. That can be up to 2 years wait. In the meantime, you go on New Start and they expect you to find a job, but you're going through claims for disability. Does that make any sense to anyone?
2-year waiting list and $400 a week.
That's a crime. As far as I'm concerned, that is a crime against them. Why is there not like a department within DVA itself that these guys can go to after being out of the military instead of having to go to Centrelink and engage Centrelink?
Well, what's the story with DVA? Are they overstaffed? Are they understaffed?
Understaffed.
They're understaffed. Right?
Understaffed, undertrained. Then they think they know it all. They don't know jack. Not one of them's a medically trained staff member.
What?
And they're dealing with medical issues.
They have no medical staff or trained staff.
They've got no medical training.
Yeah.
And they're dealing with medical issues and making determinations on them. How the hell would they know what is anything in the medical field? They can't make a determination on that. That's unfair.
But can you verify this information?
Yes, I can.
Can you verify that there's no medical staff?
There is no actual medically trained staff as delegates in the Sydney office.
In the Sydney office?
In the Sydney office. That's where they make their determinations.
Right. Yeah.
Why? They've got doctors on payroll.
Yeah.
But they don't have a doctor in there to be able to cross-reference what another doctor said.
That's also a good point.
What?
So they outsource their medical,
They outsource their medicals.
Yeah.
But then they don't have anyone inside DVA that is a trained doctor to cross-reference it to make certain it's true and correct. They make determinations on it without having medical personnel there. How?
They think that they're looking at the report and they're going, yeah, I know exactly what this says.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll give a prime example, okay? I'm more than willing to divulge my personal information.
All right.
I had a gastrointestinal issue, okay? It was really bad. I was throwing up constantly, 3 days straight, not being able to sleep, didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So we put a claim in for a gastrointestinal tract issue. They said that's a symptom. That's not an actual medical diagnosis. Get me a diagnosis. I went to the GP. I told the GP what was going on. The GP said, you've got GORD, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease, which is an actual condition that DVA can accept. They've got that condition now. They've accepted it. But they're still looking for a diagnosis for my gastrointestinal tract issue. They've held my claims up for 18 months because of this. Let's think about that. I gave them a diagnosis. They said, that's not a diagnosis. Go get one from a GP.
Yeah.
I got the diagnosis that they were looking for. Yeah. They've accepted it, but they're still saying they're looking for a diagnosis.
They've accepted it. Hang on, wait. I'm confused now. So they've accepted your diagnosis, right?
Yeah.
But they're saying they're still waiting on your diagnosis.
Yeah.
For the diagnosis that was already accepted as the diagnosis.
Yeah. And they've held my claims up for 18 months.
Has anyone diagnosed their brains?
That's what I've been saying. I can read at a grade 6 English level. I can understand it. Can I have their job? Because that's literally all they're doing is reading, and he can literally read that I've given him the diagnosis, and he's still waiting for the diagnosis. He's held my claims up for 18 months. Can I headbutt this man?
No.
Please?
No. We need you here. We need you here. But, it's things like this. That's why we want to start this podcast, man.
Word needs to get out, and there's not enough word getting out.
Yeah.
Okay, this Royal Commission has come to an interim report stating that there's not enough staff at DVA. They're not well trained enough.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nowhere near enough medical personnel in most of the areas where veterans live to have access to medical treatment to get the diagnosis forms filled out the DVA wants. There is a backlog at every single step of the level, up to at least 3 years at some stages. People can't wait that long.
It's a long time, man.
People can't wait that long. They need to be able to get on with their lives. Imagine if they had a family that was waiting to be able to be supported. What? They got to be surviving on a pittance while they're waiting for years and years and years.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Well, that's just it, isn't it?
And then at the end of it, the taxman gets their fair slice too. So that at the end of the day, they've got to pay years of backlogs in pensions, but then they get to save a whole heap again by hitting you with tax as well. How's that fair? Years worth of tax in a lump sum. That's not funny. That is not funny.
Just because you serve for your country.
Yeah. For having love for your country. That's how you get rewarded. Yeah, it's an honor and a privilege to be screwed.
I mean, this is just your side of the story, bro.
And there is many stories like that. I'm not the only one.
Of course not.
I know of another family that when they were discharged, long service was held from the member because of a cleaning bill in one of the houses that they were living, a carpet cleaning bill. He was owed $15,000. They withheld that money over a $120 cleaning bill. You're fucking kidding. Pardon my French. They could have used that money to get into a house upon discharge so they had a place to live. No, they were on the street. No money. 2 young children.
And I thought my clients were pedantic about payment.
And the member had 4 spinal surgeries. Now, let's think about that. He could really go and get work, couldn't he? He was waiting on that money. Yeah. He needed that money to survive. And what did they do? Fisted him. Literally. That's not fair on anyone.
No.
Regardless of what you've done in your background, that is not fair.
Absolutely not.
So, DVA, you've got a lot to do.
But Viper, you're fortunate. You're lucky that you have this platform, right?
Oh, I'm absolutely lucky.
But how can other veterans have a platform such as this?
Reach out, guys. Reach out to ATEC. They will be more than willing to be able to help you guys out.
It's not just about reaching out to ATEC, guys. I mean, how can your story be told? All you have to do is grab a phone, take a video of yourself, speak your story, and just post it online. That's really the bare minimum that you really have to do.
The bare minimum.
To get your story out there. And people want to hear your side of the story. They really do. And you know what? They kind of need to hear it, especially now, because the younger generation, especially that I'm seeing, right? We're getting a bit personal now. They just take everything for granted.
Yes.
Every single thing, you know? They don't realize the lives that were laid down for them to be able to play Fortnite every night.
Yep.
You know, for them to be able to cuss with their friends online.
Yep.
You know, and just talk absolute rubbish. Right?
There's just millions of lives lost in wars.
Yes.
No reason whatsoever. Look at the current genocide. I'm going as far as to say, I'm calling it out. Look at the current genocide in Eastern Europe. That's a genocide. When you start attacking people's homes, where they live, not the military members, bombing civilians for no reason. That's when you become the lowest animal in my book. You're a war criminal, Putin. I'll go as far as to say it. I think I've got the right to say it. I served in the military. I know our Geneva Convention. You preached every last rule. You will answer for your crimes one day, bud. Unfortunate as it is. I don't wish death upon anyone normally. But unfortunate, there's no way coming back from those charges that he's been charged with from the World Court. They've labelled him as a war criminal in the Geneva World Court. I can't go against that label. So, sorry, bud. Your time will come. You will be judged. Today, I want to introduce you to an incredible sponsor that not only shares our mission, but also supports our local communities right here in Queensland. Let me tell you about Mint Collectibles, your one-stop card shop. Are you a collector or a passionate fan of trading cards? Mint Collectibles has an extensive range of trading cards featuring your favourite sports like the NBA, iconic franchises like Star Wars, and even your beloved Pokemon. They have something special for everyone, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out. Now here's where it gets exciting. As a listener of Armoured Viper's Pit, you have a special opportunity. Head on over to mintcollectibles.com.au, a local Queensland-based business, and use the code word Armoured Viper during checkout. By doing so, you will unlock an exclusive 10% off discount on their entire range. But it's not just a discount. By supporting Mint Collectibles, you're supporting a local business that cares about our community and believes in giving back. Let's show our support for a business that aligns with our values. Imagine enhancing your collection while also making a positive impact on our local community. So veterans, supporters, passionate collectors, don't miss out on this opportunity. Go to mintcollectibles.com.au today and use the code word Armoured Viper at checkout to unlock your exclusive 10% discount. Don't miss out, guys. Jump in now.
Last week, we got invited to do some photography for this charity event for the Rotary Club of Auckland. Actually, specifically botany. And there was this woman that came on, right? Her name was Carol. Wonderful, wonderful woman, man. Genuinely, because she grew up in an orphanage, right? In Fiji, okay?
Oh, right.
And she was part of the Grimmett thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
So this is like the equivalent of the British ruling India.
Oh, right.
But in Fiji. So like they brought some slaves over from India to Fiji, right? So they were Indians from like the Bihar, like Uttar Pradesh type thing, right? Place. And they were just brought over as slaves. And then they started having, relations with the local Fijians. And that's where Fijian Indians came from.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, I'm Fijian Indian for those who couldn't tell. And that's basically our story. So I think I am a fourth generation Fijian Indian.
Fourth gen,
yeah.
I'm a bitter.
Yeah. So
I'm like 80% Scandinavian, Russian, and rest is like English, Irish, Scottish.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, Viking.
It's crazy, man. Like
just straight up Viking descent.
It's just crazy how we can just have so many like nationalities within us,
Yeah.
But then racism's also a thing.
I don't even know why racism is a thing. Like,
do you get racism in the military?
Oh, really?
So like, if I join, no one would say like, "Oh, you cheeky darky."
Oh, of course they would.
But
they'd say it in a joking manner.
It's like a form of endearment, right?
Yeah.
Rather than derogatory. Yeah,
it's more endearment than derogatory because you become what most people in Australia, let's face it, white in the Australian military. You become their token brown guy. That's the way they view it, and no one touches their token brown guy.
I've been your token brown guy for what, 10 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no one would touch their token brown guy because they wouldn't fucking let it happen. It's like, you touched my boy. Like,
yeah.
Nah,
don't mess with my boy.
Nah, it would not fly here.
Right.
Simple.
Fair enough.
Because there's such a thing in the military as a brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's almost, it's an unspoken thing.
Yeah.
Like, I can hang shit on him, but don't you hang shit on him because he's my boy. He's not your boy. He's my boy. He's in my uniform. He's my brother. He's not your brother. He's mine.
Yeah.
It's a weird sort of brotherhood thing that you get so protective of each other's mates.
It becomes like one big family type of thing.
Yeah, it's like you can't fuck with him. I can fuck with him, but you can't.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. And like, you know, in that situation, you just never give up, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically what Carol did, man. So she grew up in this orphanage, right? 16 years, right? After she was turned 16,
yeah,
they let her go from the orphanage, right? She got married at 18, I think, and the marriage didn't work out, man. You know,
quite a lot of them don't now.
Became a single mother, you know, struggled most of her life. She's now in her 50s, and she's still going strong, bro.
Yeah, cool.
You know, she just didn't give up.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of veterans, they find that they struggle to continue just moving on and just living because of all the shit they've been through.
Well, it's sad to say it this way, but I liken being in the military a lot to being in jail or prison.
Right.
All right. Because you've got your 3 square meals a day. You got your breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, all at the mess, all taken care of.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
The only thing you've really got to be responsible for is rock up to work and do your own clothes.
Okay.
The rest of it's all taken care of. You don't have to pay anything for rent. You don't have to pay anything for electrical costs. You don't have to pay anything for health costs or health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You just rock up to work and make certain your uniform's clean. That's it. That is it. You become institutionalized by the system. There's no extra responsibilities because it's all taken care for you by the government. If you live on base, it's all done. So you don't have to do it at all. So you think of having that very much akin as to being in prison, right?
Where everything's kind of handed to you on a plate.
Everything's taken care for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about cooking for yourself.
No.
You don't have to worry about your electrical costs.
Nope.
You don't have to worry about health insurance. You don't have any of those responsibilities.
Everything on the outside world.
Yeah.
Just doesn't matter in prison. Yeah. All the material things, really.
Yeah.
Because in reality, like, I mean, let's face it, man, like all the material things that we worry about, like bills, for example, you know, my phone.
Yep.
Cars. You don't really need that stuff to survive.
No.
It's a want. It's not a need.
Exactly.
It's just to fit into modern society.
It's when you take a step back and you actually look at it.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective, yeah, being in prison very much is akin to being in the military because it's the institutionalization of it. Yeah. It's not the situation of it because they're totally two different classes of situation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
But the process is very much the same.
Very much.
So when you come out of the military, instantly you're thrust out into big wide world and you've got all these extra responsibilities that, let's face it, most people never had to deal with because most of us joined the military fresh out of school.
True. That's true. Yeah.
So you haven't had the chance to be an adult, to pay your own way, to pay your electricity and rent and everything. You come straight out of school from your parents doing that, and now you're letting the government do it. And then when you get out, when you're 30, you're like, how do I do this?
I was literally going to ask you about that, man. So, like, I'm sure that's a big problem.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
They just don't know how to function in modern society once they are.
It's an adjustment problem, and that's the way the military view it accordingly. It's an adjustment syndrome.
Right.
But they finally let the penny drop and click. Like, it's very similar sort of situation as being in jail. Jail, right? You come out and you've got your bail bond and all that. That's part of your bail conditions. They teach you how to be assimilated back into life.
But were you guys allowed like phones and stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because you see people like Snapchatting all the time from the military.
Yeah, absolutely. You're allowed to have a phone and all that all the time.
Okay, yeah. So they're still up to date with technology in that sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's the other stuff. It's the electrical bills. It's the day-to-day things.
The day-to-day things, yeah. Expenses, really.
Yeah, that you just take for granted.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from myself. Like, I did it pretty fucking rough when I got out.
Yeah.
I've lived on the street and all that. I had no place to live. I couldn't afford rent, couldn't afford food.
Yeah.
Just taking odd jobs to be able to get by. It's not fun. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing until I moved up here and got into a good advocate situation. That's the other one, guys. Get yourself a good advocate. Don't go to someone that says, oh, yeah, I can do it, and they've got no qualifications and they've never done dick for someone, and their bloody success rate is like 30%. That is not who you want to see. Okay? Because if you do a claim and put it through DBA,
yeah,
they have the right to reject it. If they reject it, you only get one more chance to put that claim in before they say, get staffed, you're not doing it again.
Yeah.
So you need to do it right the first time.
They're going to say that on the spot, can they?
Yeah. If you haven't met all their check that they need on their checklist, you're not getting it through. It has to be related back to service.
Wow.
First and foremost. Any injury must be related back to your service.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, you can't just walk in there and go, oh, I just fell off my bike and broke my arm. Okay, did you break your arm while you're in the military? No. Well, you can't claim that.
Of course. I mean, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's got to be tied back to the time that you spent in uniform.
Okay, but if you were riding a bike and you were deployed and you injured yourself,
you'd be covered.
You'd be covered.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Absolutely.
What if I, like, just cut my finger? Can I claim for that?
If you want to be a dick about it, yeah.
But you could, though.
Technically, yes. But if you wanted to be a dick about it,
just think.
Like, it's a paper cut. Who gives a shit? You know?
Yeah, well.
But when it comes to broken bones, torn tendons, impact injuries, because they happen, just jumping out of the back of a truck with a backpack on, that's an impact injury.
I mean, how heavy are those backpacks?
Anywhere up to 60, 70, 80 kilos sometimes, depending on how long you're deployed. So if you're out field for a week...
80 kilos?
Yeah, if you're out field for a week, you take it, right? You got your backpack, that's about 40 kilo.
Yeah.
Then you got your webbing, that's about 10 kilo.
Yeah.
And then in your webbing, you've got all your extra ammunition.
Yeah.
That's another 3, 4 kilo.
Yeah.
Then you're carrying at least 2 liters of water on you, if not 3 or 4 liters. So there's another few kilo. Then you got your weapon, depending on what sort of weapon, whether it be an AR. Well, AR, there's a redundant term, okay? There's no such... I'm going to correct myself. There is no such thing as an assault rifle.
Anymore.
Ever.
Oh, there's never been an AR?
No.
Okay.
An AR is just a stupid derogatory term that they've come up for a class of weapon for computer games.
Okay, so what is actually an assault rifle? Nothing.
Nothing.
So what's the equivalent of an assault rifle in the real world?
What's the equivalent of an assault rifle? A repeating rifle.
I see.
Automatic.
So that means Red Dead 2 got it right.
They're a repeating rifle. They're a semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah, so yeah, they call them repeating rifles in Red Dead 2.
Because it repeats the action.
That's interesting.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Because it repeats the action every pull of the trigger. It repeats the action until it's empty.
Like, automatically?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, right.
Every pull of the trigger, it's the same action.
Okay. Right.
That's why they're called a repeating action rifle.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as an AR. Think about it. What is a rifle designed to do?
Shoot people.
No.
Well, not people, but... Okay.
What is a rifle, by definition, designed to do?
But
by definition, what is a rifle designed to do?
How the fuck am I supposed to say that?
It's meant to kill something.
Okay, yeah, okay. It's meant to shoot something. Yeah.
No, it's meant to kill it. It's meant to destroy it.
Yeah, okay, shoot something, yeah.
Okay, so if you kill something, what have you gone ahead and done?
You've killed something.
You've assaulted it, yeah?
Well, yeah. But you can also
So
like,
there's no such thing as an assault rifle because every rifle is committing an assault.
yeah, but you can also like quick bang like that.
No, it's a redundant term.
But that's also assault.
In order
Isn't it?
to use a rifle, you have committed an assault.
Okay, how about this one? If I get a grain of salt, all right, and I point at it, I'll be like, that's a salt.
Now you're just getting facetious. But
Don't you use those big fucking words with me, man? What's going on
think about it.
Yeah.
By very definition, in order to shoot something, you have assaulted it.
Yeah.
So even if it's a bolt action rifle,
Mm.
that's what you've used to assault someone with, right?
Right, yeah.
It's a bolt action.
Yeah, so it's bang.
By that terminology, a
bang,
bolt action is also an AR, isn't it?
No,
you've
because it
assaulted
doesn't
something
repeat.
with
No,
the
because it
rifle.
doesn't repeat automatically.
No, you've assaulted something with the rifle. I'm talking about the term AR, assault rifle, being
Okay.
stupid. Because in order
Right.
to use a rifle for what it's designed to do, you are assaulting a person.
Yes.
So even if it were being a bolt action rifle, the left's definition of AR, even a bolt action rifle is an AR.
Well, okay, with the same logic, a knife could be an assault knife.
Yeah,
A fist could be an assault fist.
yeah. You see why it's so fucking stupid to call it an AR now?
Yes, it is stupid. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So any of these politicians over in America, if you're calling something an AR, stop playing computer games. Come back to the real world.
Any particular computer games you have in mind there?
Yeah, Call of Duty. That'd be great.
There you go. Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
So what's going on with COD recently, man? Like they got rid of plunder. What's happening there?
Oh, I don't know. They're stupid.
Why do they keep doing this to us? I mean,
They're stupid. Because they're stupid.
you don't like playing Battle Royale, right?
No, I hate battle royales.
Why is that? Why?
Yeah, I get the idea. It's a team-based game and blah, blah, blah. I don't like the idea of sitting there after I'm dead, watching my teammates play with my thumb up my ass, doing nothing. Okay?
Right.
If I'm going to be playing a game, I actually want to be playing the game. I don't want to be watching someone else play the game.
Mm.
If I was going to do that, I'd join into Tim or Doc's stream and watch them. If I'm playing, I'm playing.
You're playing, yeah.
I don't want to be wasting my time.
Okay, so why do you think Battle Royale, from your experience? Because you've been gaming for what, 20 years?
Well, yeah, since Call of Duty had numbers.
There you go. So, from your experience, man, why do you think Battle Royale games are so popular right now?
I've got no idea. I've never subscribed to the skins or anything like that.
Mm.
It's just a way that they can monetize every aspect of their game without doing much effort whatsoever.
But the skins and stuff are kind of irrelevant because you have game modes like Plunder, like Resurgence, for example, where you can come back even if you die.
Yep.
Right? But what is the actual purpose of Battle Royale? Why do you think people love it so much?
Probably to try and get the ego, you know, I'm the best. I win, or you suck. And it's just toxic culture. That's all it is.
Right.
And the gaming industry is capitalizing on the toxic culture, on people's toxicity. Let's face it.
That's true. I mean, it started with Fortnite, right?
Yes.
That was the very first Battle Royale. And then PUBG came out.
Oh, well, PUBG was actually out before Fortnite.
Okay, I take my talk back, all right?
PUBG was actually originally a DayZ mod.
Ah, okay.
So,
Really?
so PUBG was actually the first one
Right,
to-
okay.
to go mainstream battle royale.
Okay, so we'll do that part again, all right? So it started with PUBG.
Yep.
And then Fortnite came along.
Yep.
And just kind of revamped it, cartoonified the whole model, right?
And made it more appealing to kids.
Made it more appealing to kids. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That went crazy. The emotes happened. And
Yeah.
then COD all of a sudden just decided, all right, let's have our own VR then.
Yeah. I think that started with Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 3.
Just before Caldera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't get the craze of it. I really don't.
I agree.
It's not fun to be sitting there dead watching your teammates play, especially if there's no way to get you back into the game either.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the circle shrinks down and you got no way to get back into it to help them out. So you just, what are you doing with yourself? You know,
You're screwed, yeah.
sit there going, do. Is it over yet?
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
that's not fun.
I mean, I had a game of Resurgence with Morgan, Baby Stallion, right?
Yeah.
And another guy called KFC. So did somebody say KFC? You gotta meet this guy, man. I think he'll be fantastic for the live streams anyway. So we were having a game of Resurgent, we came second place. Only because the circle was right underneath the bridge, under the water. And so we were just like getting targeted from both ends of the bridge, bro. And we were just screwed.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
There's nothing we could do, man.
That's not fair.
Exactly. Like, if that didn't happen, I think we would have won that match, to be honest with you.
Yeah, just situation.
That's the fucking worst situation that we were in, man. At that
Just
point.
comes down to situation.
Literally. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the craze is with it. Like,
And then you got DMZ, man. Like, let's talk about DMZ. I mean,
can I headbutt a wall real quick?
bro, like, I understand the concept of it. Like, it's a good mode, right? If you want to practice, but apparently, according to, sources, silent, that it's fucked.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah.
One bot takes one
We're three
one mag.
seasons. We're 3 seasons in. They're still calling it a beta. Come on, guys, wake up.
Probably actually, that's a very good point. It's a good point. I didn't even pick up on that. You're right. They have
3 seasons in. They're still calling DMZ a beta.
yeah. And Plunder wasn't even released as a beta, and they took it out.
How much longer do you need to work on a beta, guys? It's already been released. A beta usually comes before the release. Yeah. Fix your game.
Nuts.
Stop looking at your program files and going Control C, Control V, and actually fix the core of the problem.
But see, multiplayer never has a problem. Multiplayer is always fine.
Shit.
Well, except for the hackers. We'll talk about the hackers in a moment. But like the actual gameplay itself, always, there's never an issue. You go into DMZ, sometimes, this was interesting, right? For 2 weeks straight, okay, 2 weeks straight, Viper, I was going into DMZ with a revive pistol instead of a munitions box. I would select munitions box, and it would just go in with a revive pistol instead. Like,
Activision.
but it was good because I had a fucking revive pistol, which came actually more than a munitions box.
I'll say it. I'll say it again. Actually, Microsoft, fix Activision shit, please. I know you've gone and bought them out, and please, like, you put out such good games with Microsoft Studios.
Oh, yes,
always
you
a
have.
finished game. Make certain Call of Duty is actually finished this year, please.
Shout out to Halo, man. Best series of all
Like,
time.
you guys at least
Love
actually do quality control testing before you release your game to the public.
They did. They used to when Bungie was around, bro. Ever
Yeah.
since Bungie absolved, gone quality control down the drain, man.
But either or, like, how many Microsoft Studio games, apart from Halo, that you've played are actually completed games? Age of Empires, one of the greatest games of all time.
What about Forza? What about Microsoft Simulator?
Forza, even better.
Flight Simulator.
Microsoft's Flight Sim, even better again. That thing's almost bloody photo real. Like, they
That is a
actually
beautiful-
complete their games.
They released the Auckland pack. They're like the New Zealand pack.
Oh, yeah.
And my God, bro. Like,
They want us to scan the whole goddamn world
Yeah.
for that game.
yeah.
Like, they actually do the work.
Because there hasn't been a flight sim game since 2007, I believe, right?
2014?
Really? 2014.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so what? It took them, they released it in 2021, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been out for a couple of years.
Yes, it took them 7 years. But
So,
damn,
but they managed
worth
to
it.
scan like just about every location you could ever fly in the world
Yeah.
into that game.
it's the little intricate details like where the Sky Tower lights are placed.
Yep.
They're in the exact position.
Yep.
You know, like on the exact angle, flashing
That's-
the exact lumens, like
That's the sort of work that I'm talking about that these guys need to actually put in. It's the work ethic. And they don't have the ethic anymore.
No.
They just rather take the shortest way possible to do their job
that's right.
and then monetize the shit out of it.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, COD is basically a fucking cash cow. And that's my point though. Like, so the paid content, which is multiplayer, never has a problem except for hackers. But that's not the game's problem. Well, it is, but we'll discuss that. Whereas the free things like DMZ, Warzone and stuff, so buggy, man.
Yeah.
so buggy,
Yeah.
you know?
It's either that or someone uses the lag switch and just completely craps out the whole game. How many times have you had that?
Too many as of recent. Too many. Even our resident cameraman will agree to that. He's nodding to me right now. Absolutely. Yeah, there's been a constant problem.
Just last week in Plunder, how many times would you go to fucking...
Oh, man. Zaya Observatory, we'd go to the observatory and just get lagged out straight away, man.
Yep.
Yeah, we go to Al Mazrah City, lagged out straight away as soon as we get on top of the building.
Yeah, because these people can't be bothered to play properly.
No, they can't.
They would rather take a shortcut and go, so funny to see everyone lose. Who gives a shit? It's a free fucking game.
Yeah, man. Let's just enjoy it.
Well, you've got to be the saddest piece of excrement on the face of the planet to cheat in a free game.
I agree, but you do get some good players, man. Like, we were playing this match, right?
Yeah.
Man, this is just funny just even thinking about it. We were in a team of 4, so you can only have a team of 4, right?
Yep.
In Plunder, okay?
Yep.
And we had this solo guy dropping on us in a building, right? I took him down, and then he's like, "Oh, wait, I'm self-resing, I'm friendly." And I'm like, "Bro, this is Plunder, this is not DMZ." And he's like, no, but I'm solo, I've got no one here, and you guys seem like a good vibe. I was hearing your voice chat. You know, proxy chat's a thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I heard you guys chat. I want to be part of your team. And we're like, okay, let's do it. Why not? Okay, so we did it. And he was a part of our team. Obviously, he couldn't join officially.
Yeah.
So we were just protecting him. But the annoying thing was that when another enemy team came, we could also hear his footsteps as well as the enemies. So we just got confused, and then he walked through the door, and Morgan accidentally shot him. It's just, it was wild, man. But that's the beauty about Plunder. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, exactly.
You
And I don't think that Activision know exactly how well it did. I think J-God, don't quote me on it, but I think J-God did a bit of research on how well Plunder actually did for like the 7 days that they brought it in and then decided to take it away.
Was it really only 7 days?
Yeah. They waited 3 damn seasons before they brought it in, and then it was in for like 7 days and it's gone now.
That's just pathetic, bro.
I don't think they realised just how well that game mode did, because J-God did some research and pulled up the stats that they've actually got more people back playing Plunder than any other mode across any of the Call of Duties that they're actually running at the moment.
Any game mode?
Yes.
Includes multiplayer?
Includes Warzone Ranked.
Wow.
So there were more people actually engaged in Plunder for that game mode than any other mode.
Yeah.
And they're just shooting themselves in the foot. They're like a dude that wants to win a Purple Heart. You know, like, I want to get wounded, but I'll just do it myself. Like, I'm afraid of actually doing the hard work.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
It's ridiculous.
What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
At least COD's not play to win.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of free games out there like that, but
That's true. But
actually, can you really like blame them for wanting to monetize their own like visual artistry and that though?
I take my talk back actually, bro, because have you seen the new DMZ packs you can get
No.
in the store? They give you certain perks in DMZ. For example, if you buy this one pack with skins and shit,
Yeah.
you can actually also get an additional perk that means you always go in with a self-revive. Or you can go in with a medium backpack. Always.
Ooh.
But it's like a permanent thing, upgrade.
Okay.
That's interesting, isn't it? So like even if you die, it doesn't matter. You still always have a self-res. You'll always have...
Sort of does matter in a way.
Well, it's because it's still DMZ, yeah.
Yeah, I hate getting dove on, man, and it's just scummy.
Yeah.
Especially you extraction camper dogs. I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah. So many clips.
There's so many places that you can go and do things in the map, but no, you're just going to sit on the extraction and just be a little dog.
I think we have... Honestly speaking, I think we have over 8 hours of footage where it's just you guys trying to exfil. Yeah. And you guys are just getting shot. Man.
Yeah.
Like it's...
Yeah. Man, I was actually in the fucking chopper.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
I went and laid down so I couldn't get shot through the window. No. As the helicopter's flying up like this,
Yeah.
what happens? Another helicopter full of fucking snipers, comes up to the back of the extraction chopper and just starts mowing through the back of the helicopter. Who's the dickhead that gets down in the back of the helicopter? No. It's not her upstairs. No, it's not Silent. No. It's this dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Armoured Viper.
Yeah, the Armoured Viper, the snake laying on the ground gets shot, but the person jumping around inside the back of the helicopter didn't even get fucking touched.
That's ridiculous, eh?
It's
just nuts.
I hate
photographers laughing at
this, man.
Even our photographers laughing at that because it is a funny story. That's brilliant. But, you know, it becomes memories at the end of the day. I mean, I really don't think we should take gaming too seriously. I mean, why did you play games as a kid?
Because it's fun.
It's fun, something to do, right?
And occasionally it's good to hear them get really pissed off in the headset. Not going to lie.
Oh, like, well, we're talking about Xbox Live chats, right? All that kind of stuff. No, I'm talking way before then, like PS2, PS1 days. Why did you play games then, man?
To escape reality.
There you go. That's exactly why.
Relax.
To relax, yeah.
Yeah, it was my outlet.
Yeah, to go into another world and just enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it should be. But now, you kill someone in Warzone, for example, right? And you hear their comms, man. And there's things that even we can't say on a raw, unedited version of this podcast. we can't even say that.
Yeah.
It's atrocious, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, why are they taking it so personally? Why do you think? Is it because, like, from my understanding, right, if you play a game for a certain amount of time and you really invest yourself in it, you sort of feel like you are that character?
I think it's more... The more that the gaming advances now, it's bringing out more of the competitive edge that each and every one of us have in us.
Right.
Like, we all think that we're the best at what we do, and we all think that we can outdo someone else.
So it's an ego thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely playing to ego.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It fuels a competitive fire in just about every person. Everyone wants to get better than someone else at something.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks that you can just sit down and just play a game and just be awesome at it. No, it takes time.
It does take time, yeah.
You got to develop those skills. You got to develop the reaction time. You got to learn the maps. You got to learn the recoil of every weapon. Everything is totally different.
It's like the piano, man. You can't just learn one song and be like, oh, I know how to play piano.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that.
You got to invest the time into it to make it become muscle memory, to make it second nature.
That's right.
So you can just rapid fire about it, not even think about it sometimes.
Indeed, yes. But then you also have people that use Cronuses.
Yeah. There's a few of those over in America, isn't there? Hey, Nadia.
He called it out.
Hey, girl. Come on.
We agreed we wouldn't do that, but we've fucking done it. So.
No. I'll call that bitch out every day of the week. She was on her own damn stream.
Nah, dear. Nah.
She was on her own stream and says, no. People think that using a Cronus is hacking. It's not hacking, chat. And she was dead serious. I'm like, are you for fucking real? You upload a piece of hardware with a script.
Yes.
That literally counteracts the recoil values in the game. That can't be detected by an energy sheet. What the fuck do you think that is, bitch? Cheating.
It's cheating.
100%.
What astounds me, man, is that you can buy this in normal everyday stores.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a toy now.
Yeah.
But how? How is this regulated? So what? The Activision, like, games obviously allow this sort of things to be happening.
Yeah.
So then what's the point of policing it if you can get Cronuses so readily available, you know? Like,
I reckon they need to be able to use Ricochet in a different way. Like, they're using Ricochet based on a kernel level anti-cheat, so it's only just scanning for injected game files. That is it.
Right, so software mods.
Yeah, you're never, ever, ever going to be able to pick up a Cronus on software mod detection.
Yeah.
It's hardware. The software for that hardware is cancelled out by hardware. Like, you're not going to find it. So they're using ricochet in the wrong way in that aspect to be able to track down those sorts of hackers.
Because the Cronus only works with controllers, right? It doesn't work with keyboard and mouse.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Really?
Cronus has actually got 2 inputs in it. 2 USB-A inputs, 3.0s.
So what's the idea? The mouse and keyboard goes through the Cronus and then connects to the PC
Yes,
through one port. Okay.
Yes.
So okay, interesting.
absolutely.
So we could run Cronuses on our computers and play COD.
Or you can run a secondary keyboard and mouse, if you're a
Sounds the
keyboard
same.
and mouse player, through the Cronus itself and still
Well-
have a keyboard and mouse for your computer. So it looks like you're still playing keyboard and mouse, but you've just put the other one away and playing through the Cronus.
So the Cronus is playing for you,
Yeah.
essentially. You don't even have to touch the keyboard and mouse. That's what you're saying.
No. You are doing all the inputs for
Right.
the keyboard and mouse, but the
Right.
keyboard and mouse is attached to the Cronus,
It's
which
called
is
Cronus.
attached to the PC.
Yes, correct.
And then you've got another keyboard and mouse for your PC.
Oh, I see. So you can't use the same.
No,
Okay.
but you can
Right.
still have another keyboard and mouse attached through the Cronus. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's got keyboard and mouse scripts so that you can just rage hack to the day.
Full on aim assist, everything
Yeah.
sorted. Yeah. Perfect recoil.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Or you can have it controlled through a switch so you can switch it on and off through a foot pedal.
on demand, eh? Wow. Okay, throw a foot pedal. Wow. Wow.
Hey, Nadia.
You suspiciously know a lot about this, Viper. Is there something that you're not telling us?
I follow Bad Boy B-Man. Like and subscribe his channel. Give me a shout out, bro.
Better like and subscribe to this one as well, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, man, he does a lot of research and he ended up blowing up real big through the
True.
pandemic because everyone was inside playing Warzone and
Yeah.
he started doing hacker hunter videos and they end up blowing up.
Yeah.
So I've done a bit of research.
When's the next one happening? We need some traction, man. We need some traction on this podcast.
When's the next one happening?
Yeah, well, the next pandemic, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. When China decides to have another accident,
But see, the thing is, man, like,
did I go there?
if we can go back to a bit of like psychology in games, right? My understanding of it is that, well, this is my opinion. Okay, I'm not saying this is backed by any sort of facts, but I personally feel that, especially FPS games, like war-related games, right? They're actually there to train the generation of today. That in the event of a situation where they do have to go out, they're deployed. They at least know what kind of environment, what kind of weaponry, how to handle them to a certain extent.
They can visually identify,
Yes.
but to know how the weapon operates, to not that sort of degree.
Sure, fair enough. I understand. Building a weapon as opposed to just picking a loadout is a completely different
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. okay,
Yeah,
I understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I understand
Like
that.
if you have even look, the most reliable weapons platform, I hate to say it, is an AK-47. All right, you
yeah,
can drive
yeah.
over the damn thing with a car and bend the rifle in half. If you pull the trigger, it's still going to fire that round.
So it's a Toyota Hilux, basically.
Yeah, you can't kill the damn
You
thing.
can't kill the damn thing. Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But even those still have a weapon malfunction, like they'll feed 2 rounds into the chamber at once,
Yes.
and the weapon won't fire at all because obviously the bolt isn't aligned with the primer to be able to allow the round to go off because there's 2 rounds in there choking it up.
Right.
So you need to know how to clear that weapon malfunction,
True.
shake that extra round free,
That was a shotgun. I'm sorry.
and
yeah.
be able to make certain your weapon's going to function again at the end of the clearance of that malfunction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're dead.
Yeah, well, exactly. Otherwise, you do.
You need to be able
Yeah.
to do that instinctually in 10 seconds or
Well,
less.
It's surely less than that, man. Like,
10 seconds or less. It needs to be like that.
oh,
But you can
let me
clear
ask you this.
malfunction. Otherwise, you are literally a potato sitting in the microwave oven waiting to explode.
Yeah.
In a battle situation because someone's just going to take your head off if you've got
Straight
nothing
away,
to
yeah.
defend yourself with.
Well, let me ask you this, Viper. How long will it take you to build a pistol? Like, if we had all the parts laid out to you, you guys must have done this when you were active on duty. You guys must have had like
20 seconds?
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Got spring, barrel, everything, bang, magazine.
And do the final function test.
Yeah, bang, 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 yep.
20 to 30 seconds.
Damn, eh? Pretty fast, but is that fast by your standards? What do you think?
Well, the Steyr, I know I can tell from automatic experience, right? That thing's literally got 4 major groups.
Okay.
Okay, it's got a barrel group, it's got a receiver group, bolt group, and stock group.
Okay.
So you just lay them out like that.
Right.
Then you break those groups down into those smaller parts. If you really want to strip the weapon right down.
Okay.
And a final function test is literally a 2-stage trigger. Make certain it clicks the first time, pull it all the way back, clicks the second time, then doesn't fire. Works.
Wow. Yeah.
Take you 30 seconds to put together a Steyr if it's disassembled in front of you.
But by your standards, is that a quick time? Like, what's the fastest you've seen someone do it?
Oh, fastest I've seen it, probably 12, 13 seconds.
12, 13 seconds, man. That's pretty quick.
That's guys that are like literally in the infantry and use it day in, day out.
Yeah.
It's what I'm also saying about any sort of martial arts or any sort of gaming. The more you do it, the more fluent, the faster you become at it.
Indeed. 100%.
It's just dedication to time.
Yeah, that is.
And if you don't dedicate yourself to it, you're not going to be the best at it.
That's it, man. That's it. I mean, I was very heavy in martial arts back in my youth days.
So was I.
But like, you know, I do feel like I need to get back into that zone. Really, like, got too comfortable with my life, you know, like.
With that, I think we could almost end it, but I'll end it with this one. A very good proverb.
Yeah. Right.
World's most famous martial artist, Bruce Lee.
Of course.
Fear not the man that practices 10,000 kicks once. Fear the man that practices one kick 10,000 times. Dedicate the time and effort to learn your craft. You'll become more fluent and better at it.
Absolutely, bro. 100%. Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe. We will have another podcast coming up. Look forward to this one. We've got a very special guest, guys. Yeah. So it'll be very entertaining to see what responses come from the very special guest in regards to Department of Veterans Affairs.
Indeed, yes. Indeed, yes.
So make certain to keep an eye out for the notifications for that one, guys. Go to mintcollectibles.com.au today and use the code word Armoured Viper at checkout to unlock your exclusive 10% discount. Don't miss out, guys. Jump in now.